GTA Online is a very grindy game, and vehicles in this game now cost upwards of $3 million, which is completely ridiculous for your average player. But in today's video, I'll be focusing on cars and budget cars in particular. So in today's video, I'll be counting down 5 of the best budget cars under $1 million. So without further ado, let's jump straight into this. So this list will be based off top speeds, accurately tested by YouTuber Brohy, so I will leave his link down below for him. So the closer we get to the number 1 spot, the faster the cars will be getting. So coming in at the number 5 spot, we have the 770, a car based off the Aston Martin 177 and the Aston Martin DB9, and it looks really good. The car was added back in the Finance and Felony update all the way back in the summer of 2016, and it still performs very well even though it's an old car, with a top speed of 123.5 miles per hour or 198.75 kilometers per hour, making it very fast obviously. Now the 770 has okay customization options, but as it's an older car, you won't be able to do a lot to the car, but there are still enough options to make this car your own in terms of looks. Now the price of the car is also very reasonable, with a purchase price of $695,000, which is a very good price considering some cars now with similar stats cost $2 million plus, meaning this car is well worth your money. Next up at the number 4 spot, we have the Penetrator. Ha ha ha, very funny. Now this is a classic looking car based off the legendary Jaguar XJ220 and also has some inspiration taken from the Celine S7, two very good and legendary cars. Now in terms of handling, this car is very average, but when it comes to speed, it is actually very fast, with a top speed of 124 miles per hour flat or 199.56 kilometers per hour. Now once again, similarly to the 770, the customization options are not great, although in my opinion it looks great just stock or with some small tweaks done to it. So overall, if you want a fast and classic car, then this one is for you, and you can pick this one up for just $880,000, making this quite a bit more expensive than the 770, but it's still well worth the price. Next up at the number 3 spot, we have a 4-door car now, and that's the Schafter V12. Now this car is one of my favorites on this list, and it's based off the Mercedes E-AMG and the Brabus E12, and it looks really good. As mentioned earlier, this car is 4 doors, so 4 people can fit in this car, making it very practical. But it's not just practical, it is also very quick, especially for a sedan, with a top speed of 124.25 miles per hour or 199.96 kilometers per hour. Now there is also an armored variant or version which costs a lot more than this one, than the standard one, but it is also a bit more usable, as the armor will protect the car from damage from bullets, and being shot out of the car is also more difficult. But let's now talk price. The non-armored version can be purchased from Legendary Motorsports for a very cheap price of only $116,000, which is crazy considering some clothes in this game cost way more than this really solid car, so it's an amazing budget option for you guys. We are now down to the final 2 spots, so at the number 2 spot we have the Tyrus, a car I never see anyone driving around in GTA Online, mostly because from its cover photo on Legendary Motorsports it looks absolutely terrible, but in my view I think it's a great piece of classic design, with the car taking a lot of inspiration from the legendary BMW M1 and Maserati Touareg. But this isn't just your ordinary bog standard classic car. It actually gives you the option to add weapons onto this car, so it can actually become slightly more effective than your bog standard vehicle in the game, but to be honest, I wouldn't be using it in Headhunter or anything like that, just because the machine gun you're able to add onto it isn't great. But let's talk stats now. its handling is fine, and its cornering speed is just above average, but its top speed is really solid, coming in at 124.25 miles per hour, or just shy of 200 kilometers per hour, making it the same speed as the Schafter V12. But personally, I feel this car looks a lot more unique, hence why it's at the number 2 spot, but you can pick this one up for a price of $875,000, making it much more expensive than the Schafter V12. So if you are on a budget and want to stay well below that $1 million mark, then maybe try avoid this car and go for one of the cheaper options previously mentioned on this list. And here we are, finally at the number 1 spot. Now OGs in the game will be very happy to see this car at the number 1 spot, and it's the Adder, a car that just edges its way into this list as it costs exactly $1 million. Now, if it wasn't obvious enough already, this car is a carbon copy of the Bugatti Veyron, which is a very nice looking car, but in my view, the in-game version looks a bit outdated and bland, but that's just my personal opinion. Now, when it comes to stats, it holds the test of time with OK handling and a top speed of 124.75 miles per hour or 200.77 kilometers per hour, actually tested in game by Brocky1322 as always. Now, like I previously mentioned, you can pick this one up from Legendary Motorsports for a price of exactly $1 million, making this car the most expensive on this list, although obviously at number 1 spot, it's the fastest car under or at $1 million, and also is a piece of GTA Online history, considering this is like your go-to car back in the day. Now, just before I end this video off, I would actually like to quickly speak about the top speeds of the cars. Now, I can already see that if this video gains traction, that the comments section will be filled with people saying that they have gone faster in other cars. And actually, that's very true. You probably have gone much faster in cars, probably that are cheaper than the ones I've mentioned on this list. Now, the tests done by Brocky are done on flat roads with no factors such as speed glitches or curbs coming into play. And when you're just driving about in GTA Online, you may not know this, but if you hit curbs, go on gradients and whatnot, your car will go much faster. So cars like the Adder, for example, the official top speed is 124.75 miles per hour, but in fact, in-game, under normal circumstances, the car could probably go up to 140, 150 miles an hour under the right conditions. So I thought I would just clear that all up for you guys. And like always, like and subscribe for more GTA Online content. And like always guys, take care everyone, and have a great day.